So the actor and comedian Monique and her husband were out here addressing the response DL Hughley had for her after her interview with Shannon Sharpe. DL Hughley disagreed with Monique's comments about him not doing anything after she and her husband were disrespected at his event. He also said Monique went after his wife and daughters while she was on stage performing. Monique and her husband saw all this and decided to clarify a couple of things. Let's check it out.
We did it. We're gonna wait for y'all to come on in, my babies. We ain't done this in a long time.
We ain't done it in a long time.
We ain't done it in a long time, Daddy. Look, y'all don't even understand why we smiling so hard, because we was able to get it set up. We was able to push the button. Hey, come on now. We want you babies to come on in here. First of all, how y'all doing? It's been a minute, my babies. It's been a minute. Life been lifing. Life been lifing. Where we at, Daddy?
What do you mean?
Okay, yeah, I think it's enough babies in there.
All right.
In the room. Let's go get it. Come on.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We just wanted to take a few minutes to address a couple of things that have taken place after the Club Shay Shay interview. Much love to Shannon Sharpe.
Yes.
Good brother. Thank you for allowing Monique to come on the platform, be a listening ear, continue success on what it is that you're doing. Thank you for being a real one.
Yeah, baby. Thank you. Thank you.
We wanted to address first and foremost our brother, DL Hughley. And we are firm believers on what is right and what is wrong.
Yes.
So we got to start off by saying there was an inaccuracy as it regards Monique saying that there was a cease and desist that was given to DL to shut it down. What had taken place, to be accurate, was after Monique spoke to Brother DL on that conversation, Brother DL said, what?
Well, after we spoke on that conversation, when we hung up that phone, the last thing he said was, it is what it is. And I said, DL, then we're going to have to get our attorney involved. That's the last thing me and DL Hughley said on that conversation.
And after having that conversation with Monique, we went and got our attorney involved, Attorney Anderson. At the time, there were some emails that were transferred back and forth between his side and our side, and it escalated to a point when we had our attorney on the email, whereby then finally DL said that he would scratch the interview.
Yes.
So it was inaccurate that a cease and desist had to be given. However, that was the next step, and that's what Monique remembered, because when I discussed it with her, we said that would be the next step. But to DL's credit, at that moment, when it had escalated, that's when he decided to shut it down. However, that is a bit different from how it seemed to have been communicated, whereby on the phone, they were having a conversation and it was kumbaya. Though he never used those words, kumbaya, it did not end with her being under the impression that this was going to be resolved and shut down. So we wanted to make that clear out of love and respect for Brother DL. And despite all the commentary that he gave, with all the crunches she be doing, the captain's in the front.
I do.
And
I do.
Tell her.
I'm a sneak snacker, baby.
And she doesn't sneak when she snacks.
Okay. Hey.
But nonetheless, we wanted to be clear, because at the end of the day, we black folks in this world of entertainment. And there was a level of harshness in his return that seemed a little bit exaggerated for the moment. And we wanted to make it clear, and I think Monique can do it best when she speaks in reference to what she meant while talking about DL in the past?
You know, when I watched DL say she went after my wife, she went after my daughters, I want to really be clear who I went after so that there's no confusion here. When I was on stage, when I'm on stage and we are performers, we are performing to the audience in front of us. When I was on that stage and I said it must be hard to perform oral sex.
But differently.
Okay, on a coward. That had nothing to do with Mrs. Hughley. That insult was directed straight to you, DL. That had nothing to do with your wife. That was straight to you. So it felt like you were trying to pass it off as if I was going after your wife. When it comes to your daughter, to the baby that you did a post about, you did an interview about, I didn't do that interview. I simply reposted what you said. So when you say, Monique, you went after my daughter, that's untrue, DL. I posted what you said. And then when you said when you were really going for it with your shades on, and you said, Monique said, I stood by and watched my daughter be raped. DL Hughley, that's your conscience talking to you, brother. I never said that. I never said that. And I want to be a little clear about something else. Never would I try to do anything to harm any of your babies, because we got babies too. So never would I try to do anything to harm your children. However, what I was saying to your daughter and to the other daughters out there, I know what it's like for your daddy to know you've been touched and he not protect you, because my daddy did the same thing. That's what that whole point was. But I was showing why I would call you a coward, brother. I don't think it's brave that you didn't protect your baby. So when I said what I was saying, let me be clear to you, DL Hughley, it had nothing to do in reference to your family, and you know that. Now, when you were speaking and you were going off and you said, what did you say? She was so offended by the game we play, but you didn't say what the offense was. And that's the part for me that is disheartening, that you continue to try to trick and smoke and mirror our people. If you're going to say it all the way through. When you say family is sacred, you are absolutely right, baby. You're right. But when you say would my husband rather, and you co-sign your team of people doing that, well, isn't my husband sacred? So you got to be careful in your words, because the very words you use, DL, they're going to come back, and they're coming back to bite you, baby. And what I also said on Club Shay Shay, when I looked in that camera, I said, DL, I love you, brother. And I don't know if you didn't hear that part, but we really do. We love you, brother. And if ever you get courageous enough to want to have a conversation, we're always open to it, because doing that, it shows how our community can get better. When you're wrong, as we have said to you, hey brother, we apologize on that one.
Yeah, incorrect on the cease and desist. And I want to add one more thing. When you spoke in reference to your daughter being a reason why Monique stopped speaking about it, what you don't even understand, out of love for you, see, you can have a problem with your brother, but you're not going to take it out on the kids. And we respected the fact that she tried to defend you, but we got 3 big ass sons that if we were to think about it in the same way that she thought about it, what would that be? But out of love for you, we're not going to go after your child trying to protect the father that she loves. But one could argue, based upon what you said about yourself, had you exhibited the same type of love and protection for your other daughter that your other daughter tried to exhibit towards you, there never would have been the commentary that you made about yourself. And I liken it to Brother Corey Holcomb, who I don't know, but I got a lot of respect for him because I heard him say something in an interview. he spoke about how Earthquake's son had came to one of his shows, and the young man was hesitant about introducing himself or reintroducing himself because of the rift between his father and himself. And Brother Corey was like, come on, man, no, you come over here and I'm gonna give you love, because that was between your father and I. And it made him reconsider the whole thing and reach back out to an old friend. In my humble opinion, that's what real men do. We come from the old school. We not gonna have no problem with your children because we love them and we love you and we want y'all to win. Not at the expense of the community, though, being demeaned in order to get followers. But from the standpoint of if we come together, we're gonna win just by default. So at the end of the day, when you get to talking about how Monique is not loved and this, that, and the other, that's your perception. But what I'll say is it is due to the love that we have that we're able to love those that say things that could be construed as hurtful, but we understand that the old saying of hurt people. So we don't take what you say personally, brother. And again, it's nothing but love. In addition to the fact, I'm Q-Sci-Fi. Just like you, except I've been in about 29 going on 30 years. I'm not going to argue with you, frat. Ain't nothing but love. So we wanted to extend that to you and let you know what it is. And again, if you ever want to speak, let's have a real conversation. But people needed to know where the confrontation on stage began, and it was from that day.
It was from that day. And once you own that day, DL, guess what, baby? We'll be good.
If you have stayed with me to this point of the video, consider subscribing, hit the like button, and leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.